when most people have started to play chess, we learned about the opening. So the opening, of course, the plan that you're having in the game, the first few moves that you're gonna make. As I started to level up at chess, is that there is also something which is called a plan. So a plan is basically sort of like the plan after the plan itself. And let me show you this, which is very, very powerful when you're starting to play, because most beginners, if they have even an opening, they're not gonna play it well. So if you're gonna play the opening well, have a plan for the middle game itself, that puts you in a big advantage. Let me show you something. Let's assume now that we get a regular Italian game. Okay, so e5, f3, c6, c4, c5. We even get a Gyucho piano. This is where the plan that you're having sets in. So let's say, for example, my plan is c3, d4, castling, moving my rook from f1 to e1, and then getting my knight from d2 to f1 to then g3. This is the set of moves that you're making after the opening itself. So let me show you now this in action. So let's say they do c3, I do d3, both of us castle. Let's say they do d6, again I'm doing rook to e1. Say now, for example, they do the same. So let's knight to e7, I do knight to d2, and this is the plan. You're moving here and there. They do the same. I'm gonna do it too. This is a set of moves that you can come with very, very easily. Is what you call a plan. The setup of your, and then we're gonna also, of course, bring out the bishop. We're gonna connect the rooks by bringing out the queen. But this is like the few moves after the opening itself that you know. This is a game that I've played against someone, and both of us were actually like intermediate at this point, but this really represents what I want to say very, very well. Here we got the regular Italian again, and from here I did c3, d6, d3. Okay, so again the regular plan that I have in mind. Okay, castling, bringing out. Sometimes what's going to happen is you're going to get just a part from your plan to actually be set in, if we can say so. So let's say, for an example, after this, you have done h6. The plan is to stop me from getting there. Okay, of course, I never really planned to do this. It's not really that much of an issue for me. I've done a4. Sometimes in the Italian, you do move weird moves like this so that you could bring back your bishop here and there if you need to. That is something that can happen actually very often in the Italian. I've done bishop to e3. Sometimes you can also delay this. Usually it's not the best idea. I'm just showing you a live example of a plan. So we took, and after he done knight to f6, both of us castled. One of my ideas with this, with bishop to e3, before I'm even moving my knight, is if he takes, and I'm gonna take, once we castle, I'm gonna have an open line for the rook. And so knight to f6, we castled. Now I've done the move that I wanted, knight to d2. I'm gonna move my rook up probably, because now I'm not gonna do this if there's an open line here. And yeah, this is a small example from a plan. Even if you're not getting the full plan already set, this is a big advantage, because now you're more aware of what actually happens in the board, rather than just being the guy that plays like a regular 3-4 moves and from there like having no idea of what to do. So if you're a beginner, the thing that I can suggest for you to do immediately after watching this video is like go for wherever you want at YouTube, and just like going for, let's say, chess.com or wherever you're actually, for example, go to Google or wherever you're actually getting more chess information from, and just write like your opening name and like plans in, let's say, for example, the Italian game, if you're playing this, plans in the Caro-Kann, things like this. And that's already gonna put you in a big advantage in comparison to most other beginners. Here is something. One another issue is if beginner players are not playing principal, they like in the opening, then that is also something that you can actually utilize. And so look out for this too, like for times when you know your plan better than your opponent and how to actually play it. And also look for times where your opponent is not playing principled. So now that you understand like the message of this video, like of have a plan, I'm gonna give you also a few tips like for chess openings. So the first tip that I'm actually gonna give is related to the plans themselves, it's specifically also for the openings. So let's say, for an example, that you're starting to play chess and you're learning what openings are. If you're a 1000 euro level player and you have like in your mind 3 or 4 openings, reduce that number into 2, like one opening for white, one opening for black. Okay, it's a lot better when you're starting to play the game itself to know 2 openings and to be a lot better at them specifically than to be, let's say, a mid-level player at 3 or 4 or even 5 different openings. When I started, I tried to learn 6 different openings all at the same time, and what happens is you're going to forget a lot of what you're actually learning in a specific opening. So it's a lot better to just focus on 2 and to try to master them all the way up to intermediate levels. Now, the second thing for openings is something that you can try. Try, instead of playing like regular length games, so like instead of like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, games are a little bit longer, so like 20-30 minutes for a game. And the idea behind this, your play style is gonna inevitably be a little bit better, more in the opening itself, prevent you from blundering, because you inevitably have more time to think, but playing longer make better moves in the opening. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will do my best to answer all of them if I have the time. So if you want to improve from a beginner to intermediate, then you can consider clicking on the link down below. I'm going to show you the program that I have specifically for beginners who are stuck at beginner levels or a bit even in the beginner intermediates to really level up from there to the point where I'm at right now at 1700. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.